Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Just to introduce myself, I'm Richard Sanders. I'm from the Sheffield College and I'm the head of the apprenticeship provision for our business and enterprise academy within the college. So one of the areas that I manage is hospitality, and that's what we're talking to you about today. Hospitality and catering apprenticeship. So this is designed as an employer forum, so hopefully there'll be some input from people a little bit later on. And we're working today in partnership with Sheffield City Region Hospitality and also Springboard UK. So you'll be hearing from all three organisations throughout the course of the presentation today. What we do ask is it's a fairly informal forum, but if you can just keep microphones on mute and cameras off when you're not speaking, please, that would be great. We are recording the session this afternoon, so hopefully everybody's happy and comfortable with that. If you do have any questions while the presentations are underway, please feel free just to put those in the chat, and Elliot from the college's marketing department will be keeping an eye on that for us, so that we can pick those up as well. We will make the slides available after the event, so that if there are bits of information on there that you want to look at in your own time, you can do that, and there'll be contact details on there as well for you to be able to get in touch with any of the organisations involved after the event as well to find out any further information. So to start off with, I'm going to hand over to Gordon Jackson from Sheffield City Region Hospitality, and Gordon's just going to give us a bit of an introduction and get us going. Thank you, Gordon.
No problem. Hi, Richard, and good afternoon to everybody. For those of you who aren't aware of our association, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background. Basically, the Sheffield City Region Hospitality Association is a membership-based not-for-profit organisation. We currently have approximately 60 members, and we are the unified voice of hospitality in the region. We support our members with valuable information, which will assist their businesses. We have a really good networking ethic, and we work collaboratively to raise awareness of Sheffield City Region to attract business and leisure tourism. We also provide unique and informative training opportunities, working alongside local authorities and educational institutes to offer specific upskilling and development for members and their teams. We also, as quite obviously for those people in hospitality, we like to have a bit of fun, and we arrange some social events with members, tenpin bowling, family barbecues, and of course we have our prestigious annual SCR Hospitality Awards, which celebrate the great and good that the industry has to offer. So that's just a little bit of background about our association. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you. Thanks for that, Gordon. Yeah, so it's really important that we acknowledge that we're partnering with various organisations across the city region to try and kind of boost the what we can offer in terms of our hospitality offer from the college. So I'm just going to talk to you for a few minutes just about the hospitality apprenticeship offer within the college. If you can move on for me, Elliot, please. So first and foremost, why would you look to employ an apprentice? Well, we feel there are some very strong benefits, really. So at the moment, obviously the hospitality is a really rough year or so, and we know that people may have drifted away from the sector. So therefore, you're going to need to bring in lots of new people to backfill those roles. So an apprentice is a great way to recruit to those needs. We can support, as a college, we can support with the recruitment. We are constantly talking to people who are looking for their next step, whether it's in education or career, and so we're going to have a body of people who have got a desire to join the hospitality industry and certainly to learn new skills as an apprentice. We find it very important, it's key to any apprenticeship, the employer is involved with that training and development, and that's why it becomes really important. We've got that relationship with our employers to make sure that that everybody is on board with the development of that person. They're going to end up with some nationally recognised qualifications at the end of this as well, which is great for the CV. And by introducing people as an apprentice, they're working with you to develop their knowledge, skills, behaviours, and we're shaping the future of the sector, hopefully resulting in high quality teams and really high standards for yourselves as organisations. Apprenticeships are open to new staff and existing colleagues as well, depending on what skills it is that they want to develop, what area they want to develop. And as you'll be hearing shortly, there are some fantastic support and incentive schemes available, particularly at the moment, to try and encourage businesses to take on an apprentice. Okay, can we move on then, Elliot? Thank you. So, just a short video now about our hospitality offer within the college, and just introducing some of our facilities.
Welcome to the Catering and Hospitality faculty here at Sheffield College. 2008, the new college was built at a cost of around £60 million. It hosts over 200 catering and hospitality students. So we've got a state-of-the-art catering facility, a nice restaurant, the Silver Plate, 4 fully equipped restaurant kitchens upstairs, and a really, really good bakery department.
I've always wanted to be a chef since about 6 years old, always loved cooking. It's just really fun for me to do, and I really have a passion for it, and I've been doing it for a while. Mr. Gavitas, the chef who I'm cooking with today, helped me get in touch with a job for me. Chef expects the best from us, and it's really showing me how difficult but also fun this industry can be. We cook to serve to customers, and they expect a certain level of quality that the chef wants us to give.
My decision to study at the college was absolutely integral in terms of kick-starting my career. It gave me all the skills and knowledge that I needed to start. Everything that we learnt was relevant, so every single basic skill I learnt on the course I had to use in the industry. We also did a lot of competitions and stuff, so we were competing nationally with other colleges, which really helped with like timing and organisation and things like that, which are all essential qualities. My number one tip for anyone who's looking to get into the catering industry would be to train at the Sheffield College.
We've been helping the bakery students with their studies, all the bread rolls for match days, which is developing their skills, transferring that into the skills that they need for working in a kitchen environment. The tutors have been fantastic. You've only got to look at what's happening at Silver Plate. It's absolutely first-class restaurant. It's a first-class service. As a club and as a business, we're really proud to be involved in this. We're really proud to be approached into this and be able to get a project like this off the ground, which means such a lot to Sheffield Wednesday and to the chairman.
So at your time at Sheffield College, you'll have a really, really good grounding of basic principles, right up to the latest modern trends to set you going in your career. So Sheffield College has got a really, really good name within the industry and also within the local community. Really, really passionate instructors, great front of house team, a really, really all-round good package.
Okay, so just a little bit of an insight there into what we have got at the college. People may not be familiar with the buildings that we've got and some of the facilities that we've got, but some fantastic kitchen facilities there. As you saw there, kind of fully functioning restaurant environment as well. So apprentices who come to us really benefit from those environments, from those facilities. Also working with the highly qualified and experienced team who deliver to them when they come into college for their sessions, whether that be on a weekly or a monthly basis. Obviously, we're partnered with Sheffield City Region Hospitality, so this is part of what today is about, is listening to the voice of industry as well, and making sure that we are meeting the needs of our local hospitality sector within the city region. And it's a key part of it should be a key part of any college to want to be engaged with that, with their city and the sectors within that city as well. Hopefully, when the apprentices come to us, they'll learn lots of new skills. We quite often find that to actually meet the standards that they need to achieve. There's things that they maybe don't do at work, so we can introduce them to a whole new skill set that they will learn as well, which they then may well be able to bring back into the business. We get them to enter competitions, and we're quite successful with that as well, so that can give them some really good experience of different environments to work in as well. You get to work with lots of other apprentices from other businesses across the city region as well, so again, sharing ideas and developing in that way. And we're really keen to collaborate with Sheffield City Region Hospitality, and with the aim of eventually creating a recognised quality mark for the hospitality sector within the city. Thanks, Elliot. So in terms of apprentices at the moment, as a response to what's happened over the last year or so, the government has actually put in place some new incentive schemes, and we just wanted to highlight those to you today, because these are here to support people taking on new apprentices into their business. So the key one at the moment, the kind of newest one here, is a £3,000 incentive, and that's for any new apprentice of any age who joins the organisation from the 1st of April 2021 to the 30th of September 2021. That's in addition to the £1,000 that was already available for organisations to hire an apprentice who was aged 16 to 18 years, or as it says there, under 25 with an education, health and care plan. So in total, we're looking at being able to draw in £4,000 worth of incentive payments to support when you hire a new apprentice. Thanks, Elliot. Okay, so you can apply for incentive payments for these apprentices for the 1st of June. So we're into that, getting into that period very shortly, to the 30th of November. So it's a relatively short window for this. It is to help rebuild and kind of get new apprentices into the sector on this very short term, really. So what you can use it for, so it's different if you are a levy paying organisation, you may be aware of that, but this is a different kind of incentive payment. So this can be used to support your organisation's costs. So it could be on uniforms, or it could be apprentices' travel, or even with their salary as well. So it's very flexible in how you can actually use that incentive payment. Thanks, Elliot. So you can only apply for any new apprentices. So it's somebody who joined your organisation from the 1st of August last year and up to the 30th of September this year. So you can't use this one for an existing employee who joined your organisation before 1st of August last year, even if they started on their apprenticeship after this date, and that's the restriction on that one. We support you through this process. So there's Michelle McDonald's on the call today. She's one of our employer engagement team, business development team. So she will work with you to help you apply for this incentive payment. So you add your apprentice to the apprentice service account and set up an account on there and apply through that. And just to highlight, so this does take a bit of time up front, really. So there'll be no payments made until all the organisation's details have been verified. As you say, we'll help you through that process. Could take up to 3 months, and then the payments come in 2 equal instalments. So the first one comes after somebody's been on the apprenticeship for 90 days, and then after a year on programme is the second payment there. So quite a lot of detail in these slides. Just a reminder that the slides will be available for you after the session. And of course, if you want to contact us to discuss any aspects of this any further, then we're always more than happy to speak to people and outline what it is that we need to do. Okay, thanks, Elliot. So in terms of our current apprenticeship offer and the programmes that we have in place, we've got a number of apprenticeships that are coming in at level 2. So all of the apprenticeships I'll be talking about are apprenticeship standards. So these are standards that were developed in conjunction with people from industry. And the idea being of these, that the apprentice develops a set of knowledge, skills and behaviours that will then make them into, support them in the job role that the standard is aiming for. So the key part, as I said earlier, is working with yourselves as employers to make sure that we're developing somebody in line with whether it be your service style, your organisation's kind of ethos and values. So we're there to support that process as a college. Usually kind of main input is on the knowledge, and they'll be developing the skills and certainly the behaviours within the workplace as well. So in terms of people who may be new into the sector, we've got hospitality team member level 2, and we've got 2 versions of that. One is aimed at food and beverage service, so front of house staff, and one is aimed at food production, which is more of a kind of all-rounder qualification. We also offer a customer service practitioner level 2 qualifications. That's for people in very much customer facing roles. And then there's some more specialised standards at level 2 as well. So Commis Chef level 2, that gives people a really broad kind of setup in the back of house, in the kitchen skills that they're going to need. And then we also offer the baker at level 2 as well. And not to forget people who might be ready for the next step. So we offer a team leader supervisor level 3 and an operations departmental manager level 5 standard as well. And those are for people who are probably working in management roles within the organisation and ready to take those next steps or develop their existing skills. They're quite broad qualifications, so learning key skills such as project management, a bit about finances within there as well. Certainly managing yourself and managing other people as key skill sets for managers and leaders within your businesses. Okay, thank you. So we've had some thoughts about the future as well and how we could work more effectively within the region and working in partnership with SCR Hospitality. We have got an idea that we could develop an apprenticeship offer, an apprenticeship programme that could be branded alongside SCR Hospitality, and that would potentially, we could look at developing skills and experience in a variety of hospitality businesses within the city region, aiming for a gold standard for employers to look for, and to incentivise new apprentices to work towards that. So that's something that we'll be looking at developing in the future. And when we get to the point of looking to put that together, we'll be certainly looking for businesses to engage with that programme and support that programme. So we may be looking at another forum to look at that more in depth in the future. Thanks, Elliot. So we're not just about apprenticeships, we also offer other courses as well. And really what I wanted to sort of open up really to people today was, what do you feel that you need as a sector at the moment? It's been unprecedented times and there's a lot of new people coming into the industry, and we need to make sure that they are getting the training that they need. And as a college, we can be here to support that. So we've already picked up some interest, for example, in a short course on conflict management. So as we're in these strange times where we need to make sure people are following rules within the business, for example, then conflict management can become a bit of a key skill. There may be something that's particularly to do with COVID regulations that you feel you might benefit from, some of your teams having a deeper understanding of. And then there's also the regulatory training requirements, so things like food safety and licensing qualifications. So really, I just wanted to open it up to people to have a bit of input at this point. If we just give a couple of minutes for people to sort of put into their thoughts about what they may need for their businesses at this particular moment, and also just to ask any particular questions about the college's apprenticeship programme. Okay, so I'll leave it open to others to join in if they want to, please.
Richard?
Hi, Gordon.
Can I just ask a quick, what's the current demand for places at the college in terms of, specifically chefs or food service and so on, or have you seen a big gap of or less demand during the last 12 months?
Yeah, I mean, I think fair to say that hospitality is has had a really tough time, and that has come through a little bit. Although interestingly, particularly at this point, we're getting much more clarity about the kind of numbers of applications for our full-time provision, because obviously we've got a full-time provision within the college as well, quite a number of whom who go into apprenticeships after that, and those numbers are looking very encouraging, actually. You know, we know that there's usually a very consistent demand for that, and we never struggle to find numbers for those courses. They've always been popular, and that seems to be the case this year as well, which is good to see. So there is still that appetite for people to get into the sector. In terms of apprenticeship provision, it's really starting to ramp up now, and you know, businesses particularly looking for to advertise a lot of kind of apprenticeship vacancies with us. And yeah, in terms of candidates for apprenticeships, we're kind of going into the busy period for that now, because people are starting to get through their exams, for example, and get clear of schools. So you're starting to look at people thinking about their next steps beyond school. So yeah, and you know, we're getting lots of inquiries, so particularly from the businesses at the moment, in terms of the vacancies that they want to advertise with us. So it's looking quite healthy.
And then, are there any limit to places that you have, or are we way away from that position at the moment?
Well, you know, we whenever there's a demand, then that's our job to look to meet that demand. So we can be very flexible. You've seen that we've got you know, great facilities at the college. We can certainly you know, increase the capacity if need to as well. So yeah, we've obviously had a lull in kind of the numbers coming through for apprenticeships over the last year, so we're looking to kind of fill up, and then if it goes beyond that, then that'd be absolutely fantastic to see, and we can certainly respond to that. Yes. Okay. Great stuff. So it looks like I'm not sure we're going to have any other questions unless anybody else wants to jump in at this point. Okay. So that just leaves me to hand you over to Kerry from Springboard UK, who's going to have take us through some slides more about the future for hospitality. So over to you, Kerry.
Hi, thank you, Richard. Thank you, everybody. My sound isn't great, so if I do dip in and out, I do apologise. But as Richard had explained, the slides will be available after anyway. So, and if anybody did want to get in contact, if you've missed anything, then we can go through it. But my name is Kerry Mabley. I am from Springboard, and I'm the Careers and Education Manager. So a lot of the work that I do is with young people and encouraging them to get into the industry. And for many years, we've had a great partnership with Sheffield College in terms of our Future Chef programme, and also with the Sheffield Hoteliers Association as well, in terms of supporting them and them supporting us, vice versa as well. So I just wanted to take you through some of the education programmes that we have at Springboard, and also to talk to you about our Springboard to 2022 project, which we have launched with the aim to get 10,000 people into work by 2022, which means us having 125 conversations with everybody from educators through to the young people, through to people that are looking for work as well. So we've received some great backing and some great funding in order to be able to run this project. But a lot of what we do in education helps to facilitate getting those people into work and getting them thinking about opportunities as well. So we've had to do things a little bit differently at Springboard over the past year or so, obviously because of COVID. And one of our flagship programmes at Springboard is Future Chef. If you can just move on to the next slide, Elliot, please. So Future Chef traditionally was running, the main part of it was a competition. And this is where the partnership with Sheffield College came in, because Sheffield College would host our local final. And it was a great opportunity for young people between the ages of 11 to 16 to actually come and see the college and the facilities. Really, really great as well for them thinking about those next steps, especially if they were interested in taking a catering qualification as well. So we would normally have run the competition from September through to March over 4 different stages, but we've had to do things obviously very differently, and it was always our intention to split up the programme into 2 different age groups. So we looked at doing the Future Chef Development Programme and the Future Chef Competition. So all of our resources are now online, and the young people were able to take part in different modules and submit work and gain certificates in the Future Chef Development part. In the Future Chef Competition part, which was for the 14 to 16, we had been hoping that we would be at a stage where we would be able to bring a national final together, which always happens in London with 12 finalists. But the competition element has had to change so many times. I think we were kind of on phase 3 of actually making it work, and we still wanted a competition. So we launched the Bake Off the Bake Off for 2021, and where young people had to produce a fruit flan and submit their entries online. We had some absolutely cracking entries, and really well received by the schools, that in an era where the kids weren't able to actually get in and cook, we had a lot of support from parents at home in order to be able to get those kids still cooking as well. So we've recently just announced we had 9 regional champions, we've called them, this year. They've just done a cook-off with Wellocks, who are one of our key sponsors, and we've had some great backing from industry with regards to the Bake Off. I think I had 40 chefs all judging for me online, which was absolutely amazing. We are currently, and tomorrow we're doing our first culinary career session, and this is about bringing future chefs together and looking at those school leavers and giving them some a real understanding of culinary careers. So we've got 4 weeks worth of these sessions that are happening, one, as I say, tomorrow, but then the other 3 after half term, looking at the different sectors, the different pathways, and the different opportunities that are available to them as well. So that's really key, again, in getting the young people enthused about careers and potential paths that they might want to take. We've also done a lot of work with teachers. For the first time, we put on some career support, some teacher support webinars that were really, really well received, because sometimes getting the teachers on board can be a little bit tough. They can sometimes see the extra things that Springboard are trying to do as extra work, but actually everything that we do and have done for the teachers fits in with the curriculum. But we can't actually produce all of our resources without the support and the help of industry. So all of our video content and the actual content has been pulled together by chefs from industry. Obviously, we've then pulled it all together into the resources that they are, but all of the content has been driven by industry as well, which has been fantastic. And then post-summer, we are looking at still having a blended approach to delivery through our Digital Academy, Future Chef Juniors and Future Chef Competition as well. Just move on to the next slide, please, Elliot. So these are the Future Chef culinary career sessions that we are putting on for the young people. And we've also linked them to the Gatsby benchmark, because within schools at the moment, it's really key that they are still delivering that careers advice and guidance. We have found that is a part that has dropped off, and understandably it has, and because of trying to get the young people through exams and through coursework and things. And so where we can, we've aligned it to the Gatsby benchmarks to help get more schools on board. So they're the 4 different seminars that we're going to be doing: chef roles, sectoral information, pathways and culture and travel, mentoring, the culture in the kitchen, etc., to give them a real great overview of potential opportunities that they can have within culinary careers as well. And then our proposals, if you could just move on to the next slide, please, Elliot, for the future. As part of the Springboard to 2022 project, we want to continue to engage students with learning resources and practical cookery challenges, and equipping them with the information that they actually need to be able to do. So if you could just move on again, Elliot, for me. So we are looking at doing Future Chef in 2 different stages. So feedback that we'd had from industry was that it was great working with the younger kids, but actually if we're going to be looking at that talent pipeline coming through, then we really need to start be working with them when they have started to have a vested interest in a career. But we don't want to leave the younger kids behind. So the idea of Future Chef Juniors is they will be the year 7 and 8 who will have a real interest in cooking, want to learn some new skills, and are thinking potentially about it as a career as well. They would then move through to the Future Chef Competition, And we're at 14 years old, you know, we'll be linking industry with schools and young people that have really got a vested interest. So by investing time in with them early, we're hoping that we'll be able to get them out into, say, apprenticeships at Sheffield College, or an apprenticeship in industry, or even straight into employment. And so that's the kind of pipeline that we're looking at, supported by the Future Chef Digital Resources Hub, teacher support webinars and culinary career sessions as well. So that's one of our flagship programmes that we are actually running. If you could just move on to the next slide as well, please, Elliot. So we have a brand new career scope profiling. So at Springboard, we've really looked at our careers information advice and guidance service, and how we can make that more tailored towards the people that are coming to us for that. So everything that we do sits underneath our career scope, and because it is all about giving that information, that advice and that guidance. So what we're really wanting to do is to capture all of those people that have got an interest in hospitality, wherever they come through in our programs, to be able to then signpost them to different opportunities, career paths, etc. This career scope profiling can also be for anybody. So even yourself or even your employees can set themselves up a career scope profiling, because there could be access to free courses for upskilling and things that we can actually offer as well at Springboard. But what the career scope profiling does is it captures the person's kind of needs and requirements, and we can tailor our support. So we can signpost them to maybe employability courses that we've got happening across the country. We can signpost them, it might just be that they're wanting to be signposted to a jobs board, and we can signpost them to actual vacancies. And we've got a new team of people together that are responsible for filtering all of the people that come through, to be able to help to support them. And this is a huge part of Springboard to 2022, is you know, rather than somebody just applying for a course that might not be right for them, we would do kind of a mini interview with them, and then if that course they'd applied for wasn't right, we would be able to signpost them somewhere else to help keep them within that industry part as well. So that's brand new for us, and it's a really exciting opportunity for people that are coming through the Springboard Career Scope service. Next slide, please, Elliot. We've also are putting on a series of career hubs. Career hubs are designed for school and college leavers, or young people that are looking to leave next year. And they're one-day careers events, live webinars, where we are looking at providing some careers information, advice and guidance on personal qualities and the type of qualities that young people maybe need to get into the industry, giving them some hints and tips on interview skills and how to apply for work, but also to get them to create a career profile as well, so that we can help to support them and signpost them into the direction that they want, and maybe give them some you know, real information about live vacancies and things that might be available for them as well. But again, as part of that, our pathways, we are looking at promoting the higher education and further education offering as well. So we've had 2 of these that have taken place so far, and we've got a target of 2,400 young people to reach over the next 2 years, sorry, the next year or so, through our career hubs. They've been very, very well received by the schools. The schools that haven't been able to attend the live webinars have actually asked for the recordings so that they can use these in the classroom. So we know that there's a real need for this extra careers advice and guidance. And one of the webinars that's in there are what we're calling industry visits, because young people still aren't allowed to go out and have live industry visits. We are getting industry involved to offer tours. I mean, I think in Ireland it was a tour around the Titanic Belfast. So they were looking at it from a tourism perspective. The one in the Midlands was a mocktail session where the presenters, one of the presenters talks about her career path so far, and she's a female sommelier, so it was a really great opportunity for her to promote what she's been doing, and she set herself up a bar. She's got her own business in the Midlands as well, which is fantastic, and for the young people to really see the opportunities that are available. But then there was a mocktail session as well, which was really great and really well received. And we've got lots of other exciting things that are happening within the webinars that are happening over the next month or so. But again, it's been really key to have industry involved with these and to play a really great big part of bringing industry back to life as well. And then the other Sorry, could you just go on to the next slide, please, Elliot? So again, they're the sessions that we are delivering in the careers hubs, and that's where they meet the Gatsby benchmarks as well to be able to get the schools on board too. If you could just move on again, please, Elliot. And then other things that we've got coming up. So we're looking at piloting with some schools, a hospitality showcase. The reason that it's in London, the pilot, is because that's where the funding is at the moment. But what we're doing is a digital showcase of hospitality within London. But again, these are the kind of things that we are looking to be rolling out into the regions as well. And when we are back, when the world is better, we will be looking at getting industry involved. So this would be a day session where young people would either do events all in one area, or they would visit various different hospitality establishments within that day as well. So that is something that we will be looking to roll out across the country. And another programme that's in its pilots, it's almost coming to an end. Sorry, if you can just go back one for me, Elliot. Is the Kickstart Your Career, which is a sustainable year-long careers programme. So before, Kickstart Your Career used to just be a three-week employability programme where young people would apply to come on, and then we would look to get them into industry. The last time I did this in South Yorkshire, I had an 80% success rate of young people either staying on for further education or actually going into employment as well. So it is really worthwhile. But what we realised is actually the careers information, advice and guidance needs to start much earlier, and it can't just be in those 3 weeks at the end of their education. So what it would look like would be 12 weeks of 1 to 2 hours of career interventions. That would again be industry led, so getting industry to go in and support with that as well. 5 students to receive 30 minutes of coaching or mentoring. So this is happening at Worsley College and Bedford High. So we've got 5 GMs from the hotels in Manchester supporting over Zoom 5 students from Bedford High. And then the employability programme is an enterprise challenge that we're doing with the college, and they are going to be undertaking a food and beverage style challenge to help to support them, and that's going to be with Worsley College as well. And the last thing that I want to talk to you about are our Springboard ambassadors. So Richard mentioned about, you know, the need to be able to get our industry back, you know, as one of the key places for people to go and have careers and to be employed. And, you know, we've taken a real big hit over this past sort of 18 months in terms of job security and job opportunities. But I firmly believe, as hospitality always does, we'll bounce back bigger and stronger than ever with new innovations, you know, new styles of service, you know, table service is back, you know, we don't have to queue at a bar and that kind of thing. And I think there's some real great opportunities, but we can't shout about it without an army of ambassadors going out there to really promote the industry and their place of work. So the ambassadors are going to play a really key role in our ambitious plans to support those 10,000 recruits. So that will look, you know, with them engaging with schools, engaging with colleges through our Future Chef programme, through our GEMS programme, which is for universities, promotion and signposting to Career Scope, and champion and signposting Springboard to 2022. It's free to sign up as a Springboard ambassador. I can send that link through as well. There is also the opportunity for upskilling. So we do have a course that's done digitally and can be done in their own time, that will help them in their role as a Springboard ambassador. It will help them with presentation skills, and we're also throwing in a few other courses and incentives as well to be able to get Springboard ambassadors signed up. And ambassadors can be anybody. It can be anybody from your housekeeper that's been with you for 40 years through to somebody who's just joined you in the industry. Anybody who has a real passion for the industry, who, you know, still sees it as a really key pivotal industry for young people or anybody of any age to come into, to be honest. That's where we want to really have these ambassadors going out and promoting and spreading the word, and also being the talent scouts for your business in finding those new recruits as well. And the next slide, please, Elliot. The last slide just kind of brings together what we do in careers and education in terms of how we engage with schools, the future workforce, and engage in industry, which all filters through into our Career Scope department, which then filters through to Springboard to 2022. And also, I mean, I'm very much careers and education, but we also have our employability side, where we are taking people onto employability courses very much at different levels. So we've got courses for high need, for low need, and for moderate needs, and then getting them into work as well. So the idea is that anybody that comes through our courses would be guaranteed an interview with one of our partners, or any business that, that wants to partner with us and come on board, to then go on a job trial to then actually be employed as well. And we are also running the Kickstart scheme as well, which is different to the Kickstart I've just spoken to you about. So we are part of that, the government Kickstart scheme as well, if anybody wanted more information on that. And that in a nutshell is Springboard, and how we can help to support you as industry moving forward. So thank you very much, anybody. If you've got any questions, please do let me know.
Kerry, can I ask you a question? With the conversations you're having with young students and I don't know, possibly their parents or whatever, are there any challenges that employers need to know about, that we need to be aware of to encourage young people through into our industry?
It's always been challenging, especially with parents. So I forgot to mention one of the things we are looking at doing is actually working with parents and influencers, because young people are still very influenced around by the people that are around them, but also social media and all that kind of thing. So the challenges are pretty much the same as what they were before, in that, what are the career opportunities, the low pay, the long hours, etc. But we've at Springboard, this is where our ambassadors are key, to be getting those different messages out there, to be changing the perceptions. So at the moment we are doing a lot of work on looking at that, and there has been some research that's been done, which I can dig out and share, that has looked at these challenges and how we're going to address those as well. But we're really working on just raising that profile of the industry and helping to bridge those gaps. And a lot of the work that we've done before, we've never really been in a position to pull it all together, whereas now we are. We've had a massive restructure at Springboard, which has meant that end piece is now there. So when anybody's coming through our programmes, there's always somewhere that we can signpost them. We're not leaving them with just an open option. There'll be somewhere that we can signpost them as well. So we're doing lots of work at the minute to change perceptions of the industry.
Okay, and from the Sheffield City Regional Hospitality Association, I'm sure you'll be working with us and our members as to how we can ease that process and profile positively the benefits of our businesses. Maybe some of the things that we need to do to change in our working practices, I guess, to encourage more folk through, be it about shifts and pay, or a pathway, a career where people can actually see a way forward over a number of years to create a career for themselves.
Absolutely, and that's why we focused on Future Chef. We've never really had that end careers piece, which has been so well received by the teachers, because they're not the experts in actually knowing what different career paths a chef can take. So we're not just thinking about chefs solely being in restaurants, which is great, and there'll be kids that want to go in there, but there are hotel restaurants that young people can go into. There's food productions, food service management, there's everything encompassing. And just because they decide they want to go down one path doesn't mean to say they can't do another. And I'm a huge advocate of work experience, and because that's, for me personally, that's where my career started. I started in a kitchen and I got the bug. And the rest is history. So once we can bring that work experience piece back, and that will again form a huge part of Springboard to 2022, because kids will be able to experience it and get into a kitchen, or our industry doesn't have to be the kitchen. They can get front of house and get that feel for it. So we're doing lots and lots of work to really raise the profile and work on behalf of the industry with the industry.
Great stuff.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So thank you.
How easy is it to become an ambassador for Springboard, and what kind of time commitment are we looking at?
It's dead easy. So there is a form for them to complete online, which will kind of talk them through about which region, which area they want to concentrate on, sort of which, you know, how they might be able to support with that as well. They'll complete that form, and we are going to be doing a big relaunch next month, which is not too far away, to really get more people on board. The time commitment is as much commitment as the ambassador wants to give. So for some of our ambassadors, it will be simply championing the Springboard to 2022 project, retweeting, doing things on social media, etc. A chef, for example, that wants to become a future chef mentor, there'd be a little bit more commitment because they would be working with that young person to mentor them through the programme. But there's no real, it can be as much or as little, and the way that it would work best is if businesses had ambassadors in there, is to work out what they would like their ambassadors to be promoting, you know, what they would like them to do, you know. So there might be times when we bring all of the ambassadors together to look at doing something much bigger, but yeah, in terms of time commitment, it's as much or as little as people want to do. The key thing is that we're just shouting about the industry and about what a great place it is to work. And before, a lot of the people that worked with Springboard, so you know, our mentors for Future Chef, our GEMS mentors, they would all work in silo, when actually we're just trying to get the same message. It doesn't matter if you're trying to get the message out to school children, to people in colleges, to in universities. We just want them to know what a fantastic industry we're in, at whatever level, you know, and then obviously perceptions will change. As you can see, I'm very passionate about the industry, and I can't wait. So yeah, so our ambassadors are going to be absolute key, but at the same time, we do want to give back to our ambassadors as well, which is why there's the opportunity for them to do some training courses as well with that.
Okay, thank you. I can just think that, I mean, certainly we can help as an association in terms of getting that message out there and
Brilliant.
And everything else. That's no problem at all.
Amazing, thank you.
Some members who'd be exceptional ambassadors.
Yeah, fantastic.
Tapping up at some point.
I can send that link through, so that's not a problem. If anybody wants that link for people to sign up.
Thank you.
Fantastic. That's great. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good overview of what's happening to encourage people at a very early age into the industry. And yeah, similar to yourself, you know, I worked in the industry, and you know, I'll never forget what it did for me in terms of confidence boosting and all those things that it brings. You know, that real wider development piece that people perhaps don't think or don't realise is necessarily going to happen. But yeah, so, and it's great to see that there's a real kind of feeling of taking somebody from school age right the way through those sort of beginning steps into the industry in terms of apprenticeships, and then through ourselves, you know, right up to kind of higher level qualifications. So there are careers out there, and it's definitely about getting the message out there about what that can mean to people. So yeah, absolutely fabulous. Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody who's contributed today. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Kerry. We've put some contact details on the end of the slide here. What we would encourage is basically, I'm sure any of us would say, people come forward and ask any questions that you've got. If there's something that you've not wanted to ask in the forum today, or just any further information or more details on any of the things that we've discussed today, then please do feel free to get in touch with us. As you can tell, we're all very, very keen to support the industry in whatever way we can. Okay, so thank you everybody for their time and for coming along today. And I think that's probably the end of today's session, but certainly hopefully the beginning of some very positive conversations. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.